Hello everyone, welcome to Destination Sturgeon Bay's Tourism Talk. My name is Carly, and today we are joined with Melaniejane from so many places, Holiday Music Motel, Steelbridge Songfest, and we're here at the Tambourine Lounge, which is one of our favorite places in Sturgeon Bay. It's where we filmed Stories with Santa last year, so you may recognize this spot from Christmas, but it's one of our favorite places to be with Melaniejane and talk about all of the new and exciting things coming to the Creative District right here in Sturgeon Bay. So today I wanted to talk about Steelbridge Songfest. That is coming up here quickly on us, and it's one of our favorite things about Sturgeon Bay, and it's kind of that kickoff to our summer music season. So how did Steelbridge Songfest get started?
That goes back to 2005. There was a time when our beloved Steelbridge downtown here in Sturgeon Bay was threatened to be destroyed, and so a group of people got together to raise awareness about it. And so Christy Weber is one of the main people that really fought that fight, and her brother Pat McDonald, who is now the creative director here and one of the main driving forces of all of this. So they're the ones that really kicked off Steelbridge back in 2005, and it initially was geared to just be a concert to raise awareness, and perhaps funds to do whatever was hire whoever was needed to be hired, or bring in whoever was needed to be brought in to take a look at the bridge and see if it could be saved. And they had a successful year with that festival, and Jackson Brown, one of Pat's dearest friends, came in and helped out, lending his name, and he performed that year. So they did bring in a bridge expert that looked at the bridge and decided that it actually could be saved, and it would be much more cost efficient to save it rather than tear it down and build two new bridges. So in any case, then that was 2005. So then the next year they decided to do it again, but that year they eyeballed the Holiday Motel, which is right downtown, and decided to have a songwriting event at the same time. So what they did is they filled the motel with songwriters, and then they got to collaboratively write and record together, and then they performed the new songs that they wrote. And from there, it just spiraled on and on. So then the next year, they ended up buying the Holiday Motel, and at that time, then it was turned into the Holiday Music Motel. And that was the year that I was invited in as one of the songwriters, and I just kind of never looked back. So that's how it all began anyway. That's the long and the short of it, but it's been going since 2005, the songwriting element since 2006, and we now have over 1,500 songs written and recorded at the motel. We have our own radio station, Steelbridge Radio, which is a free app you can download on your phone and listen to it anywhere in the world, anytime, and those are all the songs written and recorded here. So things just keep evolving and carrying on from there. So initially it was just Steelbridge Songfest once a year. And part of the reason why they chose that weekend in June to do it was to help kick off the summer season. So I think that it's been successful in doing that and bringing more people to Sturgeon Bay earlier. But now we have 3 songwriting events, so it's every 4 months we do it again and again.
Now, when you have the artists come to the Holiday Music Motel to start the songwriting process, you guys do something that involves spinning a bottle. Is that correct?
That's true.
Okay, why don't you talk about that?
Yes. So basically each night that they're here, they play a game of spin the bottle. And there's on the spinner, there's letters and numbers, and actually the songwriters will stand in a huge circle around the bottle spinner. And so then there's a group of 3 that they get paired up with each other. And, then everybody gets broken off into groups of 3. And then in the next 24 hours, they hold themselves up in the hotel rooms or in the lobby or wherever. And the goal is to write and record a new song in those 24 hours. And then the next night, we serve dinner to the songwriters at the motel. And then we come over here to the Tambourine Lounge, where we listen to the tracks that were recorded the night before. And then we talk a little bit about the songs and whatnot, and then we go and spin the bottle again, and they do it again. So it's like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, for sure there's 3 spins, And then there's no stopping them, so they tend to do a lot more writing on Wednesday. So then we're always trying to catch up with the amount of recordings that need to happen. So some of the hotel rooms get converted into studios. We have a recording studio in the basement of this building, and another one in the back room, what we call the West Wing. Pat doesn't like that I call it the West Wing, but that's what I call it because it's the West Wing anyway. So yeah, and you know, with technology being what it is, people can bring their own small rigs and stuff like that and record right to their computer. So between all of that, you know, everybody's working really hard to make sure that nothing leaves here. We try to get everything captured and everything documented. And then one thing that happened this year because of the pandemic is that we ended up releasing the songs a lot earlier. We didn't actually print hard CDs, you know, actual CDs this time. So we just decided, let's get them released right away so people can hear that fresh material instead of having to wait till the next year to release it. So we may continue to do that, you know, from now on. So there'll be subtle little changes as a result of the pandemic.
You touched on how some of the artists that you bring in, they're local, some are from all over the country. You know, Jackson Brown came in. There's a few artists who have come here and they've stayed because they love it here so much.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yes.
Ruby James is another great example of somebody that came here for Steelbridge, and then she's lives here and married. Tony Menzer is another big part of this community. Kathy Greer, I know I'm forgetting people. Now Sam Lyons is here, and Ben Spottle. So yeah, we're attracting more and more people. It feels good. It feels really good.
It does. So what can we expect this year for Steelbridge Songfest?
Things honestly are still, we are recording this at the end of April, so.
Everything's fluid, so we know that. Things are expected to change.
Yeah, so what are we expecting this year? Well, we've decided that we're just going to do one virtual show. You know, with it being summertime and people have been locked up in their houses for over a year, we don't want to be asking too much of people to sit there for 2 nights in a row to watch a virtual show. So we're just going to do one show on Saturday, June 12th.
Okay, I'm excited. Thank you so much for joining us today. Again, we're here with Melaniejane from Steelbridge Songfest and so many other things. And you can watch Steelbridge Songfest virtually Saturday, June 12th. And that'll be broadcast via Facebook.
Facebook and YouTube, and we'll be posting links all over. You can always go to steelbridgecreative.org, and that's where all the information will be.
And in the meantime, you can listen to Steelbridge Radio.
Right.
That has all the songs created at Steelbridge, Dark Songs, and Love on Holiday, which is their other song festival.
And many of them are about Door County and Sturgeon Bay.
I know our favorite is Why Don't We Live Here, which is an amazing, amazing song that we love so much. So thank you so much for joining us today, Melaniejane. And as always, for more information on all things Sturgeon Bay, visit sturgeonbay.net. Yay!